Hello and welcome back. This will be the last video in the series of videos dedicated to trailer mixing, Pro Tools film post-production mixing. This, of course, is for the New England School of Communications at Husson University immersive audio course. And students, you have been mixing and following along and mixing in immersive this film trailer. And in this last video, I'm just going to address a couple other objectives you're supposed to do in the assignment, which is applying some specialty reverb to some dialogue elements, and at the very end, when you really have the mix coming together with all the dialogue and sound effects, to get back and visit the music and automate its overall level. So regarding the specialty reverbs, there are several scenes in this trailer in which I want you to apply immersive reverb. When you solo and listen carefully to all the dialogue clips, you will hear that there is reverb, mono reverb on all of the clips, and this of course ends up in the center channel. I'm not exactly sure where in the post-production process that reverb is applied, if that is part of the original on-location sound or if that was added as part of the vocal editing stage, the dialogue editing stage, but it's definitely there, and that is very common in film mixing to have this mono center channel reverb. But there are scenes in this trailer that really will benefit from having an immersive reverb as well. In the original version of this file, I added some markers that tell you where this reverb is supposed to be. And unfortunately, way back in the first video when I imported all the audio, I failed to import the markers. So let's do that now. File, import session data, Option-Shift-I. And the reason why I failed was this, let's find the original version here. This is the file we downloaded here, so we'll open that up. And, come on, buddy, you can do it. And here's all the tracks, and we already got those. And we want to select memory locations. And I may have done that in the original video, in the original import back in video number 1, but this is a freshly updated part of the software. Avid just updated the import session data folder part of the software a couple weeks ago, and I don't really know how to use it yet, and I didn't realize this, but I got to click on this marker rulers tab here, select the markers in that session, and apply them to a folder in the new session. So that's what I failed to do earlier, but once you do that, boom, here's all your markers. And so the markers kind of give a couple things here. It's saying, hey, you might want to try delay and reverb at this particular moment, and it identifies these two scenes that I think you want to put immersive reverb on them. And one of them I called the government hall. I'm going to close the sound effects here, open up the dialogue. There's the chancellor, and he speaks. Let's bring up the video here. And he speaks on camera, and later you can see him talking to the leaders of the government.
And I want him to understand what terror really means.
And there's another clip here as well. And
this country stands on the edge of a...
So I think this needs some sort of big, large hall reverb applied to his voice to make him sound more ominous and make him sound like he is indeed in Parliament or in some other large government facility. So I'm not going to demonstrate this now. You can go open up Altiverb or whatever. And your question is going to be, are you going to recombine the tracks together? Are you going to automate the sends on and off? Or can you just leave it on? I don't know. In the mixing process, apply reverb to these clips here, and it will all work out. The other specialty reverb to apply is in the alley scene. I call it the concrete alley. There's a variety of things that happen, and there's a fight scene in an alley, and there's a variety of pieces of dialogue that occur, and it would just be cool to have some concrete alley reverb on their voices. And again, you can dive into Altiverb and look for concrete alley, and who knows, they might even already have that impulse, that IR in Altiverb for you ready to go. But anyway, same thing, you're going to have to apply it to some of these dialogue elements, and you may need to automate it on or off. All right. On to the last part of the last video here, music automation. Just to kind of review what we've done so far, we started off by setting up the session, and then you went through and got the dialogue, all the various clips, kind of set at -24. You started to ride them up or down. You added the music, then you had to ride the dialogue up or down some more. Then you added the sound effects, and you rode those up or down, and you continued to go back to the dialogue and subtly adjusted them until it all coalesces into a nice mix. At some point, you probably recognize that the music, at its steady state, flat single level needs some automation. And it is very, very common, in fact, it's probably always done, that when you do trailer mixing or film mixing or anything like this, that you're going to be riding the music up or down. Music can be very exciting when there's nothing happening, there's no dialogue happening. Pump that music up, bring it up and around the various explosions and the other sound effects. But of course, when the dialogue happens, duck the music back down. And so this sort of you're the conductor and you're controlling the orchestra sort of adjustment of the stereo music mix really, really helps build and control excitement in the on-screen narrative. So again, open up the video and let's say, if you're here at NESCOM, of course, use the S6 and do this with an actual fader. If you're doing this at home, open up the fader. I would say go into touch and trim. Touch trim is great because it just does a delta, like changes positive or negative from the original level we set earlier. So, going through here, the music is quiet in the beginning, so I'll turn it up, make it really exciting, that kind of synthesizer. And of course, we're getting to some loud stuff here. I'm going to get ready for it. And it's that mostly booms right now. I like the booms.
People should not be afraid of their government.
Want to fade it down for that
Governments
dialogue.
should be afraid of their people.
Okay, he's done talking. I'm going to give a little space here. And then, really exciting. And he talks. Nope. And I'd have to bring, okay, so I messed it up there. So that's somewhere where I would roll back and he says, those who are caught. And we want to get it loud up until that moment. Of course, you might want to do some editing here and go, okay, let's keep this higher level here. I'm not going to be very precise right now, but let's keep this higher level. And I got to find the spot where I bring it down. Okay, so it's right there. You can see it. So
Those caught in violation of curfew will be prosecuted without leniency or exception.
Bring it back up. Anyway, you get the idea. Do some automation. It shouldn't take you very long to bring the music up and down throughout this 2.5-minute trailer. All right, well, I've reached the end of the demo videos. I'd be surprised if any one single person watched all these. If you did, and I hope you got something out of them. They are here, again, primarily for my students when they have problems. But they do go through, and they do give a workflow that you may find useful. If you're an actual professional trailer or film mixer, you probably have a lot of comments, because I am not a professional film mixer. But I think this will hopefully help my students, and give me some comments if you've got something to add, and the next time I'm updating these videos, I will fix them. All right, have a great day, and I will see you on another video. Bye-bye.